This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. It's a freaking Sunday. What's up, RB? What's up, Tones? Borgo. Hash. Did RB already hit the weed? Don't mind if I do. Tones, you might need a drink for this one. On tap for tonight. Russia and CPAC. If you're not into Russia or CPAC, this might not be the stream for you. It is possible that we're gonna do a little trolling tonight. For you that are familiar with Egoplex's streams might know Betty Washam. Betty Washam has had Justin FREAKIN on a couple of times. Betty Washam, she's a nice lady. She's got a friend named DFK for Justice. DFK for Justice. His stream is supposedly coming on right now. I've had a few arguments with DFK. He knows who I am. We might be able to have a little fun with DFK. He ain't popping up. Said his stream was going to start at 7 o'clock. I run a tight ship over here, DFK. My stream started right at 7 o'clock. And we're going to fill you in on the latest with the Russia-Ukraine saga. Apparently, the invasion is not going as well as Putin had planned for it. Ukrainians are putting up a hell of a fight, but Kiev is in danger. Like, as of this hour, we're going to look at, like, news from the last couple of hours about the advancement to Kiev, the second largest city in Ukraine. Fuck, the name fucking slips my mind right now. We'll read about it here in a second. It is under attack. Warlord, welcome. Apparently Zelensky earlier today said that he would be having talks with Putin. What's up, Fox Wolf? I'm still over here. I'm waiting on DFK for Justice to pop up because that's the thing I want to do first. Oh shit, here we go. Go ahead and switch you guys over. This is the meme of the day, Bjork and Beans. Oh shit! So just for a little background, we're gonna get to Russia. We're gonna get to CPAC. We're gonna hear Tulsi's speech from CPAC. We're gonna hear from Don Jr., who closed out the day earlier today. I want somebody tell me what the hell this shit is. Picture from CPAC earlier today. That's Lee Greenwood at the podium. The proud to be an American. That's who that is at the podium. But like, what's with the stone eagle? What's with curly haired dude over here clapping? Why does Lee look like he doesn't understand what's going on? Does it look like he's all there at the moment? Gonna fish and beans? God bless that song. That's why. Okay, so here's the thing. I was looking for DFK to give me a link where I can just hop in, and there's like StreamYard, I think is what they use. There's not just a link for me to be able to hop in, unfortunately. That's what I was looking for.
Taze auditors laugh like hell. Taze, I went back to my channel, and for whatever reason, that video is not there. I went through.
Sounds like you deleted it
on StreamYard, but it does not show chat, so I don't know how that video got deleted.
Oh, there we go. There it goes. There's the StreamYard link.
Going to have to figure out how to get it
I can't. You guys want to go talk to DFK here?
We'll definitely look into that. So
if you guys are familiar with Echoplex's stream,
that shit.
there's a lady by the name of Betty Washam that they have, kind of trolled on over the years. I can't explain Betty to you. Betty had a falling out with like the QAnon chemtrails kind of people, and for some reason really likes Media Winch. So Betty hates producer Dave. Gay Dave goes in there and he gets shit from Betty. Betty's like, she likes me for some reason. She made Media Winch a mod on her channel. Somebody hopped in there before I could. He's having him a drink, though. DFK is paying $50, though. That's what this stream is about. He's paying $50 to the first person to make him laugh. $50 to the first person that can actually make him belly laugh. See what this guy's got. He's got guitar behind him. Seems like he might have some talent. Jason Gaudette.
And you froze.
Yeah, I see that. That's on
You're
my
playing
end.
statue very well.
Too much shit open.
Well, I was gonna hit him with that, one of my jokes. I am a comedian. I don't know which one to throw out on him though.
Chat or something on the YouTube side. I missed what you said.
No, and
Yeah, I'm not sure how. I'm not
Well,
sure.
this guy ain't funny. Next.
sure how it ended up being deleted. Because like I say, I don't delete my stuff. Well, I do delete some.
I don't believe that. I don't. So we had a whole fucking thing. It was like sun coming up
Yeah.
here
I don't
one
see it on
morning.
mine.
Fucking producer Dave goes and like, Betty did a tarot reading and wanted to charge him for the tarot
I
reading.
don't know why.
Come on, Jason, give us something to work with here. You're not funny.
That was five days ago. I thought it was more recent than that. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I see that one.
So all right, let's go hop in here with him.
God. Yesterday morning. So okay. Yeah, I do see that one. No, that was not the one that I looked at. That was not the one I thought you were referring.
Hey, let me turn on my virtual camera so they know they're on a show. Oh, it won't let me access it with OBS and everything on.
Hey, I'm not too late to win my $50, am I?
Nobody's won it
Both
yet.
places right now.
Oh, well, you ready? I'm about to win. Presenting. Oh wait, I want a big screen. Fuck you, I want a big screen. Presenting the new line of pushpin dolls. You can buy one for I don't know yet, but get ready. This is just a prototype. This is just a prototype.
I don't know who that is on the doll. I don't know what we got going on. And I can't go in with OBS up. That sucks. StreamYard fucking sucks.
I've been known to.
Cause like I should be able to give it my OBS virtual camera, so it's a feed of the Troll Patrol. Cause I could do that with other softwares. I can go on Echoplex right now, give them a feed of the Troll Patrol. We can sync up. But I can't just hop in on StreamYard with these motherfuckers. That's what I wanted to do. That's how I wanted to start off the show tonight. I saw that DFK was on. We have some history. I was going to hop on with him. Apparently I can't. Because it won't let me access, it won't let the browser access my virtual camera. Tell me everything's all clogged up with OBS, but that's not the way that works. Aw, shucks. I was excited. Thought I had a good bit to start off tonight with. Like the rest of the night is just Who wants to listen to Don fucking Jr.? Who wants let me show you this. Oh, you want to listen to Don? Warlord, you are a warlord for punishment. So Elden Ring looks like a game that I could possibly get into. That's the Souls games coming over to more of my style, but still I have a hard time with the get good kind of games, right? Especially like my prime time for playing games is after I'm done with everything. I'm usually really high. I'm tired. It's hard for me to, concentrate on perfect blocking. Makes games like, the Souls types games, the Neo and the... I can't even think of the other ones. Warlord, I tried again. I've got video. I can bring video over from my PlayStation, but I've got no audio. I have no clue why I don't have audio. I have contemplated doing gaming streams, but I'm a Sony fanboy. I got my PS5 over here. So I had to get a capture card and can't figure the capture card out, so I can't do. I was gonna do, even like on Thursday nights, we were gonna do politics and poker. We were gonna go play poker after we did the Troll Patrol. Imagine! It's almost like there's something wrong with the hardware, Warlord. And I've contacted Razer, the makers of my capture card. And they weren't very helpful. It's been over a year because I keep trying to do it and I keep getting discouraged. Also, the picture, it is not as crisp. Like, I have to add filters in order to add color back into the picture of the game. Because I had to run it a screwy way to where it doesn't fuck with my 4K HDR experience. Because like, if I ran it through the capture card, it wouldn't do the HDR. This is the weirdest guy, because I bought a 4K fucking capture card that had pass-through. So I could run it through the capture card, but it doesn't do HDR if I do it that way. I had to get a splitter. God damn it, I've lost my fucking lighter now. Okay, that wasn't hard. $1 bills, y'all. What we're gonna do, we're gonna listen to Don Jr., we're gonna listen to Tulsi Gabbard from yesterday. We're gonna get the results of the straw poll from CPAC. I'm sorry if you came here for like some other kind of lighthearted fare. CPAC in Russia is about all that's been going on this weekend. I went and got sushi. Sparkles. I fucking love that last night I started off the stream. I'm like, there's a good possibility Sparkles messages me and like, hey, let's go get some food. I'll just be like, fuck Trump. She did indeed message me and wanted to go get food. It just so happened that Trump was already wrapping up by the time that happened. We did indeed have sushi and pad thai. My God, like a sushi pad thai combination place, and they do both of them incredibly well. What a concept. What a restaurant. Two things just go so well together. That's why we split a pad thai, we split a couple of sushi rolls. That one she really likes called the Pink Dragon. And she got her Baskin Robbins last night. Had to go out in the rain to get Baskin Robbins. Hope you guys had fun after we wrapped up Donnie Boy speaking. Don't forget it's the State of the Union this week. Fucking Tuesday night, we're gonna have Biden giving the State of the Union. There's gonna be the Republican rebuttal afterward. We might call into C-SPAN. Who knows? You might even be able to get me to break out the alcohol. All I got right now is some table wine, but we'll work something out. Then again, the last time I called into C-SPAN, I was a little tipsy. I yelled at them. Apparently, Justin's been incredibly faded on the Freak Show. The last 3 weeks in a row or some shit. I don't even remember Friday night. Apparently, like, I was asleep just as soon as fucking Sparkles walked out of that fucking door. I was told by the chat that my eyes were like this fucking big. She cracks me the fuck up. That's what the Freak Show is. Just like me presenting things for Sparkles to comment on and make funny remarks. I love my chicken fucking pizza. Oh, you know, you throw some barbecue sauce on the pizza dough. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Pizza shell? What? You stoned, Justin? Yes. Oh, Porgo. Fucking I fucking love me some Trailer Park Boys, but Sparkles, like, most of the time I think she's making something up. She's just quoting Trailer Park Boys. I'm like, that was brilliant. And she's like, nah, that's something Ricky said. I will admit, when I was in college, this would have been 2012, 2013 time. This probably would have been about the time that Trailer Park Boys was coming to Netflix. They may have just only had the Canadian portion of the show on Netflix at that time. I would go to my pot dealer. I would, like, you know, I'd want to hang out with him, sit and smoke a little bit and chit chat. He was always watching Trailer Park Boys. He's like, dude, you got to watch this. I'm like, that looks fucking stupid. That show looks stupid. Then a couple of years ago, or a couple of years later, like 2014, my buddy that Sparkles refers to as affectionately as Puzzle Bitch, he was having a hard time. Like, he had just gotten out of the military. He was having a hard time adjusting, and he was like staying up all night, drinking and smoking pot. And like, I stayed up all night anyway, so like he wanted somebody to drink and smoke with him. He would have me come up and like fucking we would drink and smoke. And that particular night, I was just the right amount of drunk and stoned. You know, like one joint deep, one cup deep. Like, he used to do this vodka Kool-Aid fucking shit. I sit down and we're watching like it's like the season finale of season 2, the one where they've got the pot trailer and they're running away from the cops, and like Bubbles is telling the cow on the farm, like, act like you know me, when the cops show up, and like Ricky and Julian are like, he didn't have anything to do with it. Like, Bubbles starts yelling at the cops, telling him to get off his property and shit. Swearing it. I've got my ways. I have several of the shows off of Swearing It. They just don't hit with me the way Trailer Park Boys do. I've listened to their podcast. I've consumed their other. I want to go see them live. I'd buy one of their fucking $10 burgers on stage just because. I fucking love me some Trailer Park Boys. I haven't watched it in a few years though. They're getting ready to drop like another live action season, I think. I haven't watched the whole cartoon run. I've already finished Peacemaker. I made Sparkles watch the first episode of Peacemaker last night. I think she liked it. She didn't know the concept of Suicide Squad. I've told her to watch Suicide Squad several times. I'm like, you'll fucking love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But I showed her the first episode of Peacemaker last night. The opening really tripped her out. The Suicide Squad. That's what the new one is, right? The Suicide Squad, not or is it just Suicide Squad? And the Suicide Squad was the 2016 one, which I liked for a whole host of reasons. They were actually I thought they were actually cooking them up. I thought they brought a grill on stage. Okay, so the first one's a mess. The first one, I could probably take the first Suicide Squad movie and all the footage that exists, unedit that shit. Give me just the raw footage. I could probably edit that and make it into a damn good fucking movie. I think the tools are there. I think a good movie was shot, and I think it was edited and timed very poorly. I loved Enchantress as a antagonist. Fucking shit. Just warmed up fucking McDonald's cheese. God damn them. I still would have bought one off of them. I was just the right amount of drunk and stoned one night. And I sat down in Trailer Park Boys. Was at it was the season finale. It was at a fever pitch. It was right when they were hitting their stride as a show. Because let's face it, critically, the first season is not that good. They didn't know what they were doing yet. They hadn't got into their rhythm. It just so happened to be playing a season where like they were hitting their stride. I'm the right amount of drunk and stoned. I fucking instantly became a Trailer Park Boys fan. Watched fucking everything. And that was at the time when like new seasons were coming out. This is 2015, 2016. I'm consuming the fucking Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, that's absolutely one of Sparkle's favorite shows. She quotes fucking Ricky all the goddamn time. And look, I've seen the show. I've seen most episodes twice, I would assume. And like she's throwing out Ricky-isms on me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, Ricky said it. All the goddamn time. I'm just stoned and chit-chatting away to not have to deal with Russia, CPAC, Kharkiv. That's the second largest city. Apparently, Russian forces have besieged Kharkiv. I've been saying Kiev. I think it is Kiev. I think I've been fucking it up. But also, I'm not quite sure because I've heard many different pronunciations of it throughout the week. I try to adopt the local pronunciation of things. Like I was trying to tell Sparkles about Ghost of Tsushima. And she was like, what the fuck are you saying? And I like Googled it and showed it to her, and she's like, oh, goes to Teshima. I'm trying to say it the way they say it in the game. Kiev. That was the way I was saying it. Kiev. But like, is that some kind of fucking slang and they don't like that? If that's the Russian pronunciation? Kiev is Ukrainian. I ain't heard nobody say fucking Kiev. Kiev. Of Kiev. Kiev. Sounds like something a woman does with her pussy when air gets caught in there. Kiev. Or you can do it with your asshole too. I've seen it. Yes, I am aware, Warlord, that is a queef. JK Love, welcome. Thank you for being a freaking follower. God, I sounded like a 70s like show. We're spinning all the hits here. 95.5 QHY. So that's literally that is a station I used to work for. Trying to think of numbers off the top of my head. 93.1 WDHR, also a station I worked for. Z-Rock 107.5. Can I get sued for this shit? They don't like me over there. I better tread lightly. Just say the names of radio stations. We can't get you in legal trouble, can it? Oh, I had an interview for a job in Kingsport, Tennessee. Probably would have been around 2008. And I wanted to go into being a jock. I didn't want to do news anymore. I was tired of doing news. I wanted to be a jock. That's what I was interviewing for. I wanted to not call myself Justin Mullins. I wanted to call myself Justin Zane. And the program director, because this was on a rock station, it was on like it was a mix of current rock and like not so much classic, but like 90s and 80s alternative rock. It was a decent station. The Hog. 90 something. I don't remember the numbers on it. 95.9 The Hog. That sounds right. Program director looks at me and says, yeah, we had a jock that his name was Justin Hill. And I'm like, God damn, I wish I had thought of that one. That's even better. Justin Zane was all right, but Justin Hill? Oh my God. Fuck off. That's brilliant. I'd like to shake that guy's dick. Mitt Romney called two Republicans morons. Well, fucking throw me you got the clip? You gonna show it to me? I got morons on my team. That is an understatement, Mitt Romney, but like, sir, you're pretty feckless as well. Give CNN a little time. It's a little slow.
You talked several times during this interview about the world seeing the difference between good and evil. I want to bring that closer to
Broken
home.
clock.
Talk about something that Congresswoman Liz Cheney tweeted yesterday about sitting Republican House members appearing at a white nationalist gathering. She said, quote, as Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar speak at this white supremacist, anti-Semitic, pro-Putin event, silence.
Hadn't even heard of that.
Leaders is deafening and enabling.
I've been checked out.
Americans should renounce this garbage and reject the Putin wing of the GOP now. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Liz Cheney was right with that statement, and she's been right for a long time. And I also saw that Ronna McDaniel came out with a statement as well, talking about how repugnant these white nationalists are. Look, there's no place.
The same Ronna McDaniel that helped censor Cheney and Kinzinger.
It's simply wrong. It's as you've indicated. Speaking of evil, it's evil as well. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, I don't know them, but I'm reminded of that old line from the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid movie where one character says, morons, I've got morons on my team. And I have to think anybody that would sit down with white nationalists and speak at their conference was certainly missing a few IQ points.
And
not being white nationalists.
Pro-Putin sentiment that you are seeing from some corners.
Notice the parsing of language there. It's the fact that they would openly go and sit down with their base. No, you pander to the base through dog whistles. You don't actually go and sit down with them, so you've got plausible deniability where you can denounce it.
Can side with Vladimir Putin, which is an oppressor, a dictator. He kills people. He imprisons his political opponents. He has been an adversary of America at every chance he's had. It's unthinkable to be. It's almost treason.
Every reason to turn away the white nationalist voters.
To see some of these people do that. But of course they do it because they think it's shock value and it's going to get them more eyeballs and maybe make a little more money for them or their network. It's
because they are their supporters. That's their base.
Some of those people
they are pandering to their base.
How wrong they were.
I mean, even Mitt Romney agrees. Right-wingers are morons.
This video in showing destruction of...
Shut the fuck up. We'll get to that. I mean, that's me with everything. I smoke so much pot, everything's pretty much... Play video games, like, oh, that's a brand new fucking game to me. Hey. Russian troops advance on Kiev. Ukraine continues to resist. Flurry of major announcements on Sunday, an announcement of peace talks from President Vladimir Zelensky, a nuclear warning from President Vladimir Putin, and dramatic pledges of support from Europe came as additional Russian troops move toward the Ukrainian capital of Kiev. I said it different every fucking time. A senior Pentagon official told reporters on Sunday that Russia has now committed 2/3 of its massed forces to the fight inside Ukraine and has fired over 320 missiles, but still does not hold a major population center. The invasion has caused at least 352 civilian casualties, including 14 children, with another 1,600 people, including 116 children, injured, according to Ukraine's Ministry of the Interior. We've actually got satellite images of earlier today. The large Russian convoy moving toward Kiev. It's definitely a whole bunch of military vehicles. It was taken around the same time. Was calling on Nuclear deterrent forces to be high alert.
Vladimir Putin.
Well, George, this does feel like it takes things to a whole new level. He is ordering a strategic deterrence force into what he's called a special regime of combat duty. It's essentially nuclear readiness, but it is, one hopes, intended only as a threat. You get the sense his invasion isn't going as quickly as he'd hoped, and with all the support for Ukraine, Vladimir Putin is perhaps increasingly frustrated. George?
It certainly does sound ominous, though, to be putting your nuclear force.
Now, I saw that they were giving away their positions with like their Tinder profiles and shit as they moved into Ukraine, and that helped out the local forces, and that people were taking down road signs and like putting them back up to confuse the Russian forces.
Forces on heightened alert. And James, you've also been noticing some more signs of dissent inside Russia.
Yeah, the government is continuing its pretense that they're only taking limited military action, and Putin has been thanking Russian troops for doing their duty, only mentioning the Donbass rather than the full-scale invasion that is actually underway. The Kremlin is really going to find it harder and harder to keep the truth from its own people. Moscow tends to hide the impact on its armed forces, so now the Ukrainians have actually launched a website to help Russian families find their relatives killed in combat. That's just one way the truth of this situation is slowly leaking into Russia.
I also wanted to point out this story. Don't need an emoji. Andrei Rublev, Russian tennis player, wrote "No war, please" on a camera after winning a semifinal matchup. Andrei Rublev asked for peace at the Dubai Tennis Championships days after Russia began its invasion of the Ukraine.
Said not so fast.
There we go. We've got video of it.
And he might just have a message. Andrei Rublev.
We saw the footage of the protest being shut down in Moscow. The Russian people aren't on board with this. This could end up backfiring on Putin.
Despite state media control, the economic impact of sanctions is also alerting people here to the seriousness of this situation. Since the ruble sank, $7 billion has already been withdrawn from the banks. Things like electronics are rocketing in price. Car parts are harder to find. Travel is going to be very difficult. Businesses are also asking more and more for cash because they're concerned about their bank accounts. A former Russian central bank official has actually said that things might be a catastrophe on the Russian currency market on Monday, tomorrow, when trading opens. And this is as the crackdown on dissent here continues. One human rights monitor estimates that 3,000 people have now been arrested in protests here. Today is, by the way, the 7th anniversary of the assassination of opposition leader Boris Nemtsov. He was gunned down right in front of the Kremlin here behind me. The big question: will more people, as so many have already done, risk their lives coming out in the streets in big numbers? We've seen more barricades going up around the Kremlin. The authorities here certainly feel they might. George?
Yeah, I don't know about a full-on coup, but this is probably a bad move
and Cecilia,
on Putin's part.
And our allies are doing more now.
He overestimated his dick.
Some of the strictest sanctions in modern history. What they're doing right now has really been described as the financial nuclear weapon. So they're cutting off Russia from this SWIFT banking system. Essentially, it allows big banks, large banks, to send international transactions. They're still working out the details, but essentially we could be talking
Apparently they're not pulling all Russian transactions off of SWIFT.
Beyond its own borders. Perhaps even bigger than that, though, George, is this targeting of Russia's central bank. This is a really big deal because it's targeting...
he could have the syphilis warlord.
Set aside to sort of sanction.
Syphilis makes people's minds go crazy, and
now, listen to this. Officials are talking
they think they're smarter than what they are. It's like that's been a symptom of kings and shit throughout history.
Going after their yachts,
they go mad with syphilis.
Luxury apartments, even their ability to send their children to fancy colleges in the West. So really, we're seeing the West, this administration and its allies cast this really wide net, going after Putin himself, going after those close to him, but also, as James was just saying, really hitting the Russian economy so much that Putin could be facing some pretty serious political backlash there at home in Moscow. And the point right now, George, they're really trying to push Moscow to this point, almost looking at the Iran model, turning it into a huge pariah on the international stage.
more military aid for the Ukrainians as well.
Yeah, this is a really big deal. That new package, Ian mentioned $350 million in this latest package, $1 billion total overall in this crisis. Ukrainian leaders had been
we're giving money to
that would allow
arm up a country that has universal health care, by the way.
The U.S. had been hesitating to send these surface-to-air missiles, partly out of fear of provoking Russia. Certainly that changed. The big question this morning, though, is how they're going to get those weapons to Ukraine, given the situation there right now on the ground. And one other huge move to tell you about, George, Germany with a big reversing this policy to not send lethal aid to conflict zones. Right now, they are agreeing to help Ukraine with some big weapons. So that front line there, they're about to get a lot of firepower, George.
Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here.
Woo, George Stephanopoulos. That was too loud.
Show highlights and watch live event coverage. Click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app.
Ukraine live camera. This be what going on at 3:41 in the morning in Kyiv. I just it didn't seem like he properly prepared for like he didn't work on prepping the Russian people for an invasion. It was really weak sauce. None of this makes sense to me. I don't know if this is really what he wanted to do. It would have been a hell of a lot easier to pull this shit off when Trump was president. So, when Trump was speaking at CPAC last night, this wouldn't have happened if I had been president. I'm like, why didn't it happen when you were president? A very good question. Other than, Putin needed to flex his dick. And that's what this was all about. Fully getting smacked down. Of course, it's Sunday, so there were plenty of U.S. officials all over the news shows.
This is really a pattern that we've seen from President Putin through the course of this conflict, which is manufacturing threats that don't exist in order to justify further aggression. And the global community and the American people should look at it through that prism. We've seen him do this time and time again. At no point has Russia been under threat from NATO, has Russia been under threat.
You got them serious eyes on this morning.
Pattern from President Putin, and we're going to stand up for it. We have the ability to defend ourselves, but we also need to call out what we're seeing here from President Putin.
This is dangerous rhetoric. This is a behavior which is irresponsible. And of course, if you combine this rhetoric with what they are doing on the ground in Ukraine, waging war against the independent sovereign nation, conducting full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, this adds to the seriousness of the situation.
I'm not surprised at this information, because Putin has tried every means possible to actually put fear in the world in terms of his action, and it just means that we have to ramp up our efforts here at the United Nations and elsewhere to hold him accountable.
That was the White House, NATO, and the UN giving their official comments. Russia. Now let's hear from the Republican Party. Kevin McCarthy was on Fox News talking about the Russia-Ukraine situation, and it's going to be funny.
Rising up and fighting back. The very latest from Ukraine, where courageous...
Oh, he was on with Maria Bartiromo.
The capital capital city of Kyiv, holding on to the capital even as Russian forces inch closer to Ukrainian President Zelensky's doorstep. Many advisors saying now that Putin was not expecting this tough resistance from Ukraine as international aid pours in.
Okay, like, Maria Bartiromo is like in her house and she's got like a webcam or something and they're green screening her studio behind her because she looked funky.
Including Germany saying over the weekend it will in fact deliver anti-tank.
I don't think that was just the way she looked.
Ukraine and raise its defense spending, adding to the anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles from the U.S., UK, Poland, and the Baltic states, which have helped Ukrainians fight literally in urban contact on the streets as residents spend the night in bomb shelters. The U.S. and Europe have also reached an agreement to limit access of select Russian banks to the SWIFT global payments system.
We'll find out where they really stand tomorrow night on Tucker, right?
Reserves. President Biden authorizing $350
Tucker is still on Putin's dick.
On Saturday. Joining me right now to discuss the
I would assume
is GOP Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. GOP Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you, Maria.
She drunk.
The most pressing issue, of course, just in the last few minutes, as we understand.
Like the video didn't skip or anything.
Put his nuclear forces on alert. Your reaction?
Nothing wrong with being drunk and broadcasting. I mean, I do it all the time.
Reckless, evil, and dangerous. There's two reasons why he could be doing this. One, because this war is not going well and he's being painted into a corner and he wants to be a stronger hand to try to negotiate a way out. The second one is he's unstable, that he will literally try to have a nuclear weapon option going forward. At this moment in time, no country in the world should stand with Putin. Everyone should unite around
the one positive of Republicans possibly taking back the House is that this is the Speaker of the House.
Biden gave Putin the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Possibly. I don't know. They could have a revolt. They could force him out.
Really going to impact.
They have done that before.
What should be done now?
But this guy is...
It wasn't just Nord Stream 2, it was how he moved out of Afghanistan. Then when he meets with him, he gives him Nord Stream 2 with no other options. Remember what Nord Stream 2 is. It is a second pipeline to provide natural gas to Germany. But this pipeline goes around Ukraine. Because the current pipeline, they have to pay Ukraine.
He breathes in weird spots while he's talking.
Going forward. But now that we find...
He doesn't talk like he's a human being.
Through all of this, is he didn't see deterrent. What President Biden should have done, he should have supplied the weapons that he talks about today to the Ukraine. I had this conversation with President Biden in advance, telling him I do not believe that Putin is afraid of sanctions. He's lived with them for years. He knows how to get around them. What he really needs is a deterrent. Think about if President Zelensky, how far that they are fighting. Think if they had half the weapons we've left in Afghanistan. They would have paid for them. But Russia would have never entered. Russia would have been falling even today.
What? Like, aren't we giving them a shit ton of weapons? Haven't we been giving them a shit ton of weapons for years?
Winston Churchill. We do not need
the shit that we left in Afghanistan was just cheaper to strip and leave there. We covered this story. That's a fucking non-starter. Kevin McCarthy, you stupid piece of shit. The people that watch Fox News don't fucking know anything about reality.
We should have taken those actions sooner, and we should learn from this moment in time that we should speed up the sales of weapons to Taiwan for what the future looks at and what China's looking at happening today as well.
So will you be encouraging that this upcoming week? You're right. Biden authorized a $350 million defense aid package on Friday, only after we heard President Zelensky say, I don't need a ride.
Are we really on the doorstep of a World War III? Where the U.S. is fighting against like China is trying to take Taiwan.
Tell us what they were saying about this country.
Russia is trying to take Ukraine.
We were worried about Iran getting a nuclear weapon. Now we're worried about not only Iran, but also Putin using his stockpile.
I would say people are very afraid of JCPOA, the negotiations, the other action that President Biden took when he took to the administration. They started a negotiation with Iran.
That may be a thing,
Iran to have a
Tone.
nuclear weapon.
I mean,
Now they're moving
never.
forward.
You can never accuse them of like thinking through
puts a
things
fear in
logically
all
and being
the Middle
rational
East
about.
for Iran ever to have a nuclear weapon. If you're worried about what Putin said today, think about what Iran says every single day when it wants to wipe Israel and America off the face of the earth. We would never want to have Iran or never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. These were many discussions that we had with the Prime Minister, with the former Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu. This is a real concern, but we're also talking about Ukraine, because what Europe needs and its actions that have taken before, America can supply the natural gas to Ukraine. The action of the
I would like to take this opportunity to point out Thomas Friedman, who was a hero of the right, had a theory called the Golden Arches Theory. The book puts forward a capitalist peace theory, first published as an opinion piece in the New York Times in December 1996, called the Golden Arches Theory of Conflict Prevention. Although slightly tongue-in-cheek, it states, no two countries that both had McDonald's had fought a war against each other since each got its McDonald's. Ukraine has plenty of McDonald's. Russia.
Biden administration has made it harder on America to do that. Our gas price is higher. We're spending $53 million a day is going to Putin to fund his war. They are supplying more crude to America, not less. These are the actions we should take. And
maybe we should have supplied more McDonald's to them.
Shut Putin down economically as well.
Well, this clearly will be overhanging the upcoming State of the Union address. Congressman, I know that you will be there in the chamber at the State of the Union.
It will be overhanging the upcoming State of the Union address.
On Tuesday night.
What the fuck does that mean?
I believe that there should be any change of course in the face of this war in Eastern Europe.
Yes, and we're going to offer, the President Biden has asked for a supplemental of billions of dollars for Ukraine. We're asking that if we put in there to speed up the process, give us the XL pipeline. Let's have a movement to speed up our ability to drill on federal land. Let's put a speed up ability to send LNG to Europe as well. Those are the things we'd look for adding, because that.
Why can't we have a speed up on renewable energy?
Well, the president, what is he going to talk about in the State of the Union? I'd love him to say that he's going to change course and secure the border, stop the fentanyl and illegal individuals from crossing this border. And we're finding also that we have people on the terrorist watch list. What about the economy and inflation itself? Instead of this Build Back Better raising more inflation.
I care about people's cholesterol.
What about the security, as you see every day in New York and every city across America? Crime.
There is better food and better food for you than McDonald's.
Funding the police and on upholding the law. What are we doing about energy independence? These are all things that he can change the course on.
You can't solve the problem of McDonald's without solving the problem of food deserts.
Safer.
Where we put our subsidies. We subsidize goddamn corn syrup, and that's the reason why fucking processed foods are so cheap in this country.
Representative Rashida Tlaib to speak on behalf of Democrats. What are we going to hear from these responses? And what does that tell us right there on who the Democrats chose to respond to President Biden?
My wafu.
The greater the contrast. I mean, the
Rashida
Democrat
Tlaib
is an individual who doesn't really even consider herself a Democrat. She considers herself a socialist Democrat. She rallies the cry to defund the police.
She is part of the Democratic Party.
The border. She believes in this inflation of moving forward.
She believes in freedom and democracy.
A miss after miss, and then you've got Governor Kim Reynolds.
I'm not even saying anything about like.
She just provided more freedom and more.
I don't have a problem with subsidies in theory, but like we're definitely subsidizing certain industries more. Corn. And that plays into like why why our primaries are held in Iowa. But the first caucus is in Iowa.
The Capitol fencing is being reinstalled going into the State of the Union address. 700 National Guardsmen being deployed as the trucker convoy makes its way to Washington. Your reaction to all of this, what is Tuesday night going to look like along the Capitol?
You know what? Those National Guard and that fencing should be in America, but it should be along our borders, not around the People's House. The People's House should be open to the people. Unfortunately, Democrats don't believe that. Why can't they secure our borders with that? I think America and the Capitol is a safe place to be. The People's House should be able to enjoy it.
Well, the answer to the reason why is because, like,
and why don't we have a
there are mountains and a river that run along the border.
Going with this current administration.
Like, we pretty much have fencing where you can put fencing up, but like most of the border is like rough fucking terrain or is on private property. And people don't want a goddamn fence on their fucking property, dude.
We'll get back into the Iran.
That was a huge issue with the fucking border wall.
The U.S. and the Iranian negotiating teams, the mediator is actually Russia. Can you explain this?
What?
It is wrong that we're even...
Oh, the Iran nuclear talks.
The real action should be we should impose greater sanctions on Iran so they would never have a nuclear weapon and they would play in the world and stop funding terrorists around the world. This is a wrong...
That's what the fuck... That's what the agreement is, sir.
Just this week on a phone call. But the one concern that I have, especially coming back from Israel and the Middle East, this is a fear that all the countries in the Middle East. Why aren't we building on the Abraham Accords, making the Middle East safer, instead of moving back in with Iran? Them having a nuclear weapon makes the world so unsafe.
That makes the world safer to normalize relations with them.
Not only do they,
but you are on the side of the religious zealots who want a boogeyman.
The world to make us less safe.
Israel needs a boogeyman.
We will rule the day if they come back with a new JC.
Israel always has to play victim.
Congressman, thanks very much for weighing in. We'll be watching your leadership in the coming weeks. Certainly, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy joining us this morning in Washington.
Flash, have you looked into putting some traps along your property? I understand completely. We're devolving into fascism. Speaking of fascism, here is Tulsi Gabbard from yesterday's CPAC convention, which was like total fash fest. God damn, it's 26 minutes long.
Thank you.
That damn music!
Aloha.
I'm interested to hear what Tulsi has to say, though. Now, if any of you guys remember our friend, Keith's dad, me talking about Tulsi taking a hard right turn, he made fun of me for that, like she's at the Conservative Political Action Conference. Just a few years ago, she would have absolutely have been the defense secretary in a Bernie Sanders administration, and now she's pandering to the fringe right wingers. This is the nut job convention.
Thanks so much, Larry, and thanks Matt and Mercy, and just thanks all of you for your kind and warm welcome. You are making me feel right at home. Before I get started, I just wanted to ask if we could just for a moment and talk about Ukraine and what is going on there.
How do they not look kindly on that? That is an excellent idea.
I actually went on my...
I thought you could protect your fucking home.
Instead of going back to Hawaii, I chose to go to Eastern Europe. I went to Poland, visited Auschwitz, visited the ghettos.
He invaded Poland.
And then I went to Ukraine, and I made some wonderful friends there. People who I became closer to as the years went on, and like so many people who are stuck in Ukraine right now. Many of them are stuck in...
I mean, I don't want to make fun of her, like, because Sparkles has that one little strip of gray in her hair, and I love that on her.
Their husbands unable to leave, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see this tragedy play out. So I just wanted to ask if we could just pause for a moment of silence and send our prayers for their safety and for their well-being.
Oh, were we supposed to pray that? Were we supposed to pray?
You know, I gotta say, when Matt and I first spoke on the phone about my coming here, we both had a similar reaction to each other, saying, yeah, there's gonna probably be some strong thoughts that people were gonna share with both of us when they find out that I'm coming here. And we both kind of, I imagined you were nodding, Matt. I was nodding, but we're like, you know what?
Matt slap.
And they brought it on. So
don't mind if I do, RB. I ain't high enough for this Tulsi shit.
You know, I kind of started to see coming from the so-called progressives the usual things coming out saying, Tulsi Gabbard is going to CPAC. She's a traitor. Hillary was right. Get her out of here. And then I started to see the things coming out from so-called conservatives, mostly directed at Matt, saying, how dare you? Don't you know she's a Democrat? Cancel her, disinvite her, lock the doors, don't let her in.
I've not called her a traitor. She is appealing to a right-wing base.
This kind of reaction, this kind of tribalism.
I think she's always tried to appeal to, you know, like a conservative Democrat.
It is something that's happening far too often and far too common across our country, where one section of our country sticks to our own tribe. We only hang out with and listen to and talk to people who we agree with, and we turn our backs and reject.
But ma'am, the only reason they brought you to speak there is because you're going to say shit they agree with.
Of an erosion of a
so this idea that just because there's a D out from your name, they're bringing in some diverse voice is absurd.
God's children. That we are one nation under God, and knowing that inspires us.
There you go with the little God dance.
And find that fundamental respect and care that we should have for one another. And so when I came out here, I said aloha because this is what aloha really means. Everyone's heard the word aloha. Most people think it means hello and goodbye, but there's a reason why we greet each other with aloha, and it's because of the deeper meaning there where it says, I recognize that we are all children of God, and I come to you with respect, and I come to you with this heartfelt love that no matter where we come from, the color of our skin, our religion, or even our politics.
I would be interested to know
each other in that
Tulsi Gabbard's ethnic background.
This spirit of aloha is actually what is at the heart of our Declaration of Independence. It is what is the foundation of our Constitution. When we say we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these...
that doesn't mean... What you said doesn't mean anything, Scad. Like true free speech. What the fuck are you talking about?
God. Not from any other person, not from anyone in government. Our freedom comes from God, and to recognize others as children of God is to...
Well, I thought like she has like Polynesian in her background, right? But I'm assuming there are colonizers.
No one has the right...
Like Hawaii has a brutal fucking history.
God has given us. This is the foundation of the social construct of the United States of America. This is what is at the foundation of our Constitution. And we heard a lot from Glenn tonight about the First Amendment, about free speech.
Dark raving!
And our First Amendment, as you well know, says Congress shall make...
Yeah, Flash, it always seems like their idea of free speech is just like, we don't want to cut Nazis off from saying like horrible shit. But it's never about lifting other people up so that they can speak.
For redress
having true
This
diversity
foundation
of thought.
is what makes us who we are as Americans.
Oh, thank you.
This foundation of freedom
Got the dollar bills, yo.
ingrained in who I am, both as a soldier and as an American.
Dad, like, what are you talking about deplatforming people?
That oath that I took to support
You're just saying shit that has no meaning.
against all enemies.
I take calls and comments, 100% open, unscreened. Who fucking deplatform? No. Fucking right-wingers love to deplatform. Like, their argument that, like, cancel culture is a thing is a way to silence dissent. People criticize Joe Rogan rightfully. And the right came, oh, you're trying to cancel Joe Rogan. You don't believe in free speech. That's its own kind of chilling effect. It's so ironic that the concept of free speech literally used to try to silence criticism of people.
We recognize that while
Right-wingers absolutely despise free speech. I can show you all the right-wingers that fucking block me immediately as soon as I say anything.
And that's the core
Anything under one of their propaganda videos.
what makes our country that shining city on the hill. So as long as we're committed to this foundation of freedom that's enshrined in our Constitution, our Bill of
Once again, guy like Sparkles has that fucking like piece of gray there. Like that happens naturally sometimes.
coming from that common foundation of freedom, we can
I think it's cute on her.
and challenges that we face. But if we are not committed to this freedom that is so clearly spelled out in the Bill of Rights,
Oh, well, I mean, like, I don't know anything about
unfortunately, we have too many
like hair dye jobs.
leaders in positions of great power in our country who are not at all
Twice. Right-wingers raided my show and got me banned twice last week. Threatened to keep doing it.
are
They don't believe in free speech. It's the right that wants to silence everybody.
saying, hey, if you know what, if your speech offends me or
I only want people to be silenced when they're taking a hit of that sweet
we have too
Chiba.
many people in positions of power whose foremost responsibility is to protect our freedoms and uphold our God-given rights, and yet they are the ones who are actually trying to take these rights away from us.
He is literally saying nothing. Drop that the word wrong. He is literally saying nothing.
Here at home, and their co-conspirators in the mainstream media and the security state who are working to undermine our freedoms from within.
Well, cool. Let's get rid of the FBI. Let's get rid of the NSA. Let's get rid of the CIA. Get rid of the fucking military. Let's get rid of the fucking NSA. Did I already say the NSA? Let's get rid of DHS. Get rid of ICE. Get rid of goddamn fucking cops. There you go.
So basically, they're saying that they're going to protect us from that which they claim is not true. The notion that we must just blindly accept and follow as truth that which the government or those in power tells us is true goes against the very essence of our Constitution and Bill of Rights. This was created as a resounding rejection of the reign of kings and churches and authorities. There's a reason the preamble of the Constitution begins with, "We the people." There's a reason our Declaration of Independence says that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men,
I
derived
absolutely want to get rid of those agencies.
of the governed. Why is it important that we say these words? Why is it important that we remember them, that we actually understand why?
The NSA, the FBI, the CIA, DHS.
The reason why it's important is because in defiance of
The military, the cops.
have leaders in our government working with their mouthpieces.
I always love it. Like, I get called bootlicker by people that like
rejected.
tempt for actual government that would put their fucking boot on your neck.
The most lethal force.
I want to get rid of the agencies that do harm.
Authority and voice of truth, of information.
I think government is for doing things like providing health care and education, fire departments, maybe an actual security force that's far, far different than the police force that we have now. It needs a complete reimagining.
It is in direct opposition to the Constitution that the power elite is actively...
Yes, and I want to get rid of the NSA, which is spying on us. Why am I crazy?
That those who dare to even question...
I always like the right-wingers that are for limited government never want to get rid of the agencies that are, one, actually take up all the fucking budgets.
We've seen their playbook over and
Hold
over.
on, like, I'm sorry, I've just talked over Tulsi as if she's saying anything worth listening to. As if the budgets aren't bloated for all those agencies. They provide fucking nothing. Cops have an abysmal solve rate. Like the TSA couldn't find like any of the, like, they tested them a few years ago. They couldn't find any of the fake bombs that they snuck through. It's just there for security theater. Oh, you didn't even know this was Tulsi Gabbard? Aloha. Democrat Tulsi Gabbard speaking at CPAC. This is from yesterday. The rest of the clips from CPAC we're going to watch are from this afternoon. Showing up looking like a Hunger Games villain. Sure. I've never seen Hunger Games, but I like the Lord song. Yellow flicker beat. That's a cool fucking song. Yes, she is a Democrat. She was a representative from Hawaii. I don't think she's still in Congress. Actively serving. Yep. She's not actively serving. Oh no, it's okay. What was I talking about? I was going off on a rant about something. Oh, all these right wingers that say they're for limited government and they believe in freedom and shit. They don't want to fucking get rid of the agencies that actually take away our fucking freedom. It's weird to me. And then they call me crazy. Jesus. Had a dude today talking about like taking shots at BLM and protests, and he posted a picture of the Minneapolis Police Department. I fucking love doing it. You know, I pull up the yeah, it's right here. I pull it up so fucking often. Feds say far-right group coordinated attack on Minneapolis police precinct during protest. They arrested a neo-Nazi group for inciting violence during the protest. That's what happened. Was right-wing agitators went in to make it look like the protests were violent. They weren't. So I told that dude this, and his response to me was, oh yeah? Well, the Department of Justice is crooked. I'm like, yes, you believe that the Department of Justice is crooked. Guess what BLM was protesting against, motherfucker? Why weren't you out in the streets with them? Why are you taking shots at them? Makes no fucking sense. You want to tell me that the Department of Justice is crooked? What the fuck do you think BLM was protesting against? But right-wingers are absolute fucking morons. Oh yeah, Flash. Don't think I didn't cheer it on and share out pictures of it. What a beautiful fucking sight. But it wasn't actually the BLM protesters that set it on fire. A fact that I love to point out that right-wingers just laugh at for some reason. It destroys their entire fucking narrative. They don't care. They don't. Where'd Scrub-a-Dub-Dub go? You want to call in? I haven't had the phone lines open. The white nationalist group that was referenced earlier have been trying to shut me down. They like to call in and use words that are against terms of service. But if you'd like, the phone lines are indeed open. I would like to go back to taking phone calls. Maybe I need to be a little more quick on the trigger to cut people off. Not let them use fucking hate speech over and over again. I feel like I should just mock people like that, but I'm not even thinking about Twitch terms of service, YouTube terms of service, all that fucking like. I doubt D-Live or Odyssey or any of those other places have any kind of terms of service. None of those places care what you say, but like I want to keep my Twitch. It's the respectable platform. I'm done with Tulsi. I can't do it anymore. Fuck Tulsi. We've got the straw poll from CPAC. This is from earlier today. Next two videos are in order. It was the straw poll. Who they're going to vote for president.
CPAC First Vice Chairman, Charlie Giroux. And CPAC Board Member, McLaughlin Associates, Jim McLaughlin.
I think it's very telling that this entire CPAC was completely Trumpian. There wasn't any other parts of the Republican Party represented. Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley were there, and they are almost certainly going to be candidates.
What they think about things, I'm honest.
Oh, the whole thing is absolutely a grift show. But it's all that's going on this weekend, so that's what we got. Russia, we got CPAC.
Jim McLaughlin, and Jim, you have some results.
That's what I hear. I can't tell you.
But stick around because I have an absolutely adorable video of baby owls getting fed.
Kind of excitement for the straw poll, and it's actually kind of amazing being a non-presidential year. So with that said, without further ado, and the other thing,
I'm interested for their straw poll.
These numbers, they speak for themselves, and you're going to see it, I guess, because you guys are the ones that voted.
The numbers don't lie. They spell disaster. It's sacrifice.
Everybody knows for a non-presidential year, this was literally a historic turnout where we have.
I want to spend money in federal government, but I want to spend money on actually doing shit for people.
And I'll tell you what.
I don't want to spend money bombing other countries. I don't want to spend money incarcerating more people than any other country on the face of the planet in the history of the earth.
97%.
Yeah, scatterbox. Well, dude, you care about balancing the budget? The last president to balance a budget was Bill Clinton. Both Democrats in my lifetime cut the deficit. Every Republican in my lifetime ballooned the deficit and wrecked the economy. Fact. So if you're telling me we need to balance our budget, you should be voting for Democrats. Why don't you give us a call? Tell us about your. And Bill Clinton was just a milquetoast, middle of the road Democrat. Imagine if we had a true progressive like a Bernie Sanders in office. We'd be running this fucking surplus. But Scatterbox, give us a call. Let's hear what you got to say. 917-830-4359. Dark Raving, hit the Bang Discord. Give them a Discord link if they want to hop in the Discord with me. Boom. See that shit? You just go down to the debate freaking, or you give us a little ringy ding ding. Why can't I say that shit with a straight? I just fucking point. Both Democratic presidents in my lifetime cut the deficit, with one balancing the budget. Every Republican in my lifetime ballooned the deficit. What I just said is fact. Do you understand? So you're asking me how I can say it with a straight face, but what I just said was factual. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? I just break down and call right wingers morons. You guys just fucking stupid. No. President Obama cut the deficit. Bill Clinton balanced the budget. Do you understand what I'm saying? Both Democrats. Do you know what the deficit is, first of all? Debt and deficit are two different things. The problem with right-wingers is explaining why you are wrong takes teaching a fucking class. You guys are just stupid.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Yeah. The phone lines are open if Mr. Ball wants to call in. Balanced budget means no deficit. We were actually running a surplus under Clinton. Obama cut the deficit.
Nobody gets 97%. Trust me, Matt and Charlie, they don't have 97% approvals in their households.
A sensitive subject, Jim.
And 83% strongly. And there was, folks were telling me things are going to fade for the president. I saw the speech last night. I saw your reaction. Nothing's faded for the president. With that said, what do we think of Joe Biden? 99% disapprove.
Of course it's CPAC.
I will tell you this. Now, I've been going to CPACs for close to almost 40
There's your Reagan and your
he's older than
George H.W. Bush. There's your Clinton. You see, we go into a surplus. There's your W. Bush. There's the bottom fucking falling out. There is Obama cutting it drastically. And boom. There is Trump ballooning it.
Now, they are horrible. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I don't understand, Jim. 1% approve of Joe Biden? I can't. I know.
If you care about the debt and the deficit, you should vote for Democrats.
And as we tell everybody, it's anonymous. Some of the press must have stuck in. What are the most important issues? And remember, you could choose up to 3. Election integrity is number 1, 49%. Immigration, border wall, 48%. Constitutional rights, freedom, 43%. Then you have
the abstract notion of constitutional rights of freedom. Once again, I wish that they defended the Fourth and Fifth Amendments with the fervor that they always talk about the Second Amendment. They probably don't even know what the Fourth and Fifth Amendments are. Those are the ones that really grant us our freedom, because that tells us what the state can and cannot do to us while we're being arrested and while we're in court. Those are the two amendments that I look at and like, thank God those are there. That's the Third Amendment tones. Somebody always does that to me.
things like inflation, cost of living, 27%.
Can I say something there, Jim?
Yes.
What's your plan on cost of living?
We can't talk about the 2020 election. And if you go around the country, if you come to CPAC and you talk to folks, everyone wants to talk about the election. But they don't want to just complain about all the illegal activity. They want to know what we're going to do. And so you gotta own it.
There was no illegal activity. You guys made that shit up. You live in fantasy world. I'm so goddamn tired of hearing about it. Grown adults shouldn't be paid to stand on a stage and say that. That's this world has gone goddamn nuts.
North Korea and the Afghanistan question, Matt made me change it. He said, put in Joe Biden's incompetence. And I was like, well...
Actually, I said put in Joe Biden's incontinence, but you got real close. I mean...
Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck. He made a shit joke. Oh.
I'm seeing this right now again, there was a media poll that was out yesterday.
How many people in the crowd even know what incontinence means?
What happened on Donald Trump's watch, and that's with all voters. Now, one last thing, little housekeeping. When we're done, within, not maybe right away, but within an hour or two, all the results will be up there. We obviously don't have time to deliver all the results from the survey, but they will all be there. We believe in honesty and
Survey
transparency.
says.
In our surveys, just like we do in everything.
Another one for the good guys.
Question you were all waiting for. The straw poll. What happened? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think?
Dip, what's up?
Who?
Chris Christie.
Somebody lost their goddamn, even the people on stage is like, you lost your goddamn mind. You think Chris Christie is going to win this
Donald
shit.
Trump, 59%. So much for him fading. He had 55% last year. Ron DeSantis is at 28%. So, do you agree with those numbers?
There you have it. Trump.
And look, and even the other candidates.
Gaining ground with the wacko nut job voter.
And the gentleman who yelled out Chris Christie, well, you see what happened there.
Well,
anyway.
I like some of these. You know, we would be in Maryland right now, except their Republican governor said we'd kill each other. He's at 0. He literally got no votes, so. And there's this guy, John Kasich. I didn't even, wow. Were you just putting him on there to be mean, Jim? What are you doing?
Taking shots.
Those are the choices.
Taking shots at the never Trump Republicans. This is the straw poll from CPAC. This is their presidential polling. Donald Trump won with like, what, 59%?
61%. And what happens is one of the interesting parts, 2/3 of President Trump's voters from the first choice go to Ron DeSantis. Make sense?
So take out Trump and it's DeSantis with 61%.
Okay. All right, so now we go to the next one.
Oh, and then we have, I'm still letting it all.
A barbershop comedy quartet.
You have a great voter technology. You use blockchain. And you have some great results as well with this company.
Has she spoke?
That's right. Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
And thanks for being at CPAC. We really appreciate anybody flying over here from Tokyo to be with us. It's a wonderful thing.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here today.
He is embezzling money somehow.
In the existing election system, many frauds have been committed due to falsified data. In particular, the last U.S. presidential election has brought that reality to the attention of many people.
It's not high def TV here. Like, it's hard to see.
We understand that this is not just an issue of the United States of America. We are all facing a crisis of losing our freedom and democracy. Democracy is our right to vote.
Hey, you're standing on the stage with like some of the people that have engineered that.
We've been developing a system that is
Liberty vote.
transparent, and it is applicable both online and offline. And in this system, people are authorized before they participate, making sure that they are individuals who qualify to be voting for this country. And in this system,
She's from Liberty Vote.
not even the administrator of the system.
She's from a Tokyo company that has developed this voting system. Well, did you use it for your straw poll? That would have been a great time to show off the technology.
And above all, it allows participants to log back into the system and make sure and confirm that their votes have not been altered. And the process is clear, it's transparent, it is proof that election integrity is possible. And we believe that this CPAC 2022 is the right place to start. And we have great results, so I'd like to get right into them. There we go. I'm pleased to announce that we have had 905 people
Oh, I'm assuming she's doing some kind of embezzlement.
of this weekend's straw poll.
There's some kind of shady business deal going on in here.
And all of them had great results. But I'd like to announce 2 of the 4 which I believe are worthy to mention. For the first survey question you see up here, more than 3 out of 4 people have voted yes to implementing blockchain technology to the election for more transparency. And I must say this is a very encouraging.
Wouldn't that provide less transparency?
And the last question. Thank you. Whether conservatives need to be more active in virtual spaces such as the metaverse to fight against the big tech. An outstanding 93.
No, you fuckers never shut up. You dominate. You dominate social media with your dumb shit all the time. It's exhausting.
We're so happy with the results, and it is such an honor to be here. Once again, thank you to all of those who participated, took the time in the blockchain portion of the survey. One person.
Gone country.
For eternal world peace.
Thank you for being a freaking follower.
Amen.
A fucking man.
Naomi, thank you for everything you're doing to restore this idea that
Liberty Vote is bound to be a scam somehow.
Jim, thank you for
With
your
these motherfuckers involved, it is a scam.
Junior's in the house. He'll be talking to you shortly.
Donald Trump Jr. is in the house.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
DJ, what's up? Okay, his music is the coolest music they've played thus far. Oh, is that a actual song that would explain why it's the coolest music so far?
With me, went for a lot of money. See, if I were Hunter Biden, I'd put that in my pocket rather than going for a good cause, right? It'd be a little different. But we can't do that, right?
This motherfucker has pocketed so much goddamn money in his life.
Think about how bad things are going right now. I'm going to play off of that, okay, sir?
This asshole is jealous of Hunter Biden.
The administration that currently is in charge wanted to put together a program to hand out crack pipes. Because you'd have to be on crack to think that they're doing a good job, okay? Like,
oh my God!
Maybe
he stole that from like Greg Gutfeld.
Hunter could be in charge of, right? No, but think.
I mean, come on, we can't fact check this thing.
There's not a single success this administration has had, and yet, if you look daily, the press is fawning over them. You can see that Europe put in the
they?
that Joe Biden could have easily done a year ago, could have maintained what Trump had, could have done the right thing.
I don't want to think of Hunter's horse cock.
Said, and as we all know, he was sleeping. Right? While Europe was leading, Joe Biden was sleeping. And we say that without certainty, but we all know. Right? Of course.
Oh, we all know, though.
But the press, you can see the White House's hand in this. I'm like, really? Like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like they did anything. But that's what we're up against, folks. Watch, each and every day, we're watching inflation go through the roof. It's transitory, we're told. Right? It's just a temporary thing. It'll be gone.
They ain't said that shit in like a year.
Change the tune every day. The narrative changes to suit failure after failure. A lot of fake news. A lot of fake. But you know what's nice about the fake news is that.
Oh yeah, Laura definitely wears the pants in that relationship.
Right? No, you hate to say it and you hate to see it. But maybe, and just maybe, it took a Joe Biden and a Kamala Harris and the disaster that came with that to wake the American people up fully to what is going on in our country. Okay? For years, the American citizens, they watched and they listened to the news, maybe peripherally.
Junior has a junior? I didn't know that. This motherfucker procreated.
You've seen through the lies. For the average American hard worker, they were just consuming a couple minutes of news a day. You hear the same nonsense over and over and over, and maybe you just start assuming maybe there's...
Can't hold it against the kids, though. Send to the father, all that bullshit.
Like Russia collusion. What happened with that, though? Because it feels like there's actually was Russian collusion, but now it's different. Right now. But now, almost zero coverage of it, right? When the other side gets their hand caught in the cookie jar, the worse than Watergate crowd is missing. Where is Bob Woodward, who for every day, every tweet,
he wrote...
It's like, I don't know. Like,
he wrote fucking several books about all the crimes your father committed. And your dad still talked to him. He wrote 3 books during the administration.
40 years, but doesn't matter. Everything's worse than Watergate.
He was still friends with Bob Woodward. Donald Trump, your dad.
You have a political campaign working with government contractors who had access not just to a candidate, but to also the sitting president of the United States. They used that information to spy on them, to create a narrative. They leaked it to that same fake news, who wrote a story about it, which they then used as a basis for an investigation. The same people that did that for the Hillary Clinton campaign are now negotiating with Russia, right? So the people who
no
are now negotiating with them, as we seem like we're on the verge of getting into a ground war in Europe with Russia.
Projection.
Of course it happened under this administration, because you know, the first thing a bully does, a bully like Vladimir Putin, he takes advantage of the weak, infirm.
You know exactly what a bully does.
And no one is weaker and no one is more infirm than Joe Biden. All you have to do is watch him walk up a flight of stairs, but it's worse than that. No, it's worse than that. Because you watch how they lead, how they govern, and I'll use lead in quotations because what I've seen is not leadership. And again, we're all on one side of the spectrum. We understand and we believe this, but we can see another side too. We can be open to that. And we can talk about those things, but there are certain things that we cannot let go. There are certain things that we cannot pretend didn't happen. Okay, we can disagree about socioeconomic policies.
They all the way over on the Nazi spectrum.
Of the environment. What we can't disagree about is the disgrace that happened in Afghanistan a few short months ago. Right? We got to point.
What even is this?
Because it's not just about that disgrace, it's what everyone sees. You think Vladimir Putin didn't see that and said, excellent.
You guys like it better with just this picture of him?
Xi over in China wasn't saying, hey, whatever my timeline for taking over Taiwan was,
Sorry.
There's a reason it didn't happen under Trump. People understand strength. They understand resolve. They understand balls. You gotta say it, folks.
If I really wanted to, I could rig it up in character animator. I could put a cartoon mouth on Dawn and then let him talk, and it would like do the fucking mouth for him. Wordy words.
And folks, right now our leadership has none of those things. Okay? But they do have depends.
Also, come on. I am so glad to have Mr. Garrison back on South Park. I hope that should Trump run again in 2024, South Park just ignores the whole Trump thing. Mr. Garrison stays in the classroom with the kids where he belongs. No mention of the fact that he used to be Trump. Maybe a joke here and there. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I liked the whole fucking Trump storyline at first when it started, but then I wanted my Garrison back. They're fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
People paid money to see Donald Trump speak.
Without a doubt. Go long on that stock, okay? You know Nancy Pelosi.
People stay long enough to hear Donald Jr. speak.
Go long. But it wasn't just brief moments of incompetence. It was the hearings afterwards where our generals, the great woke leaders of our U.S. military that spent 6 million man-hours training our troops about wokeness. Like, not fighting, not killing bad guys. They wanted to learn about white rage, a term that none of us had ever heard of prior to him testifying it, right? Maybe they should focus on China, but when I watch our military...
No, it was that book by that woman that does the corporate training. And that, like, the fucking... The corporate wokeness is an issue. I can...
We could not have seen this coming.
That's where all that language even comes from, is like corporate training.
Really?
Like
Because
safe space. It was like part of this like corporate training shit where like we want all the employees to feel like they have a safe space to be able to express themselves.
But they could
all that fucking corporate America. Corporate America ruins everything.
Why are they in charge? Remember, a week later, our Secretary of State gets up there. We're, to paraphrase, because I'll get it close, but CNN will say that I lied about what was said. So, to paraphrase, we are shocked and dismayed that the new Taliban government is not as diverse and inclusive as we would have hoped. Who would have imagined? I don't know. Like, they sort of have a history of throwing homosexuals off buildings. They have a history of enslaving young women and children into sexual bondage.
He thinks he's fucking killing it.
That they weren't more diverse and inclusive. You know why? Because these people are idiots. And yet they're in charge, right? You wonder why gas prices are all-time highs, right? We're going to spend billions to fund NATO, to protect them from the Russians that we give a pipeline to, that we give a pipeline not just for the economics, but a pipeline to their own survival right now as they invade a sovereign nation.
I don't think he's not a skilled orator. He's not a good showman.
Cheney's out there busy working, not to win a campaign, because no one in the state of Wyoming could care less about Liz Cheney.
I'm sure he does write his own shit.
Not her children, but your children over to Ukraine. You know that's what's going on in the background.
This is an incompetent daddy's boy
in like 3 months.
That thinks he's doing a good job.
Let's get that machine going, right? And you know when the media is turning them into the thought leaders of the Republican Party.
I mean, I'm not one to talk about people's tolerances for drugs.
We're not going to go for it. Again, it took a Joe Biden to wake people up. It took the disaster that is not just Joe Biden, and this is what we have to remember going into midterms. It isn't just Joe Biden. We all recognize that he's incapable of making the decisions and coming up with the policies that are out there. These are Democrat policies, folks. This is what the Democrat Party wants for America.
What policies? What legislation has been passed?
Fine, as long as they can push their green agenda. It doesn't matter if America seats and cedes its place at the throne of capitalism to allow the Chinese to eat our lunch, to enrich our enemies. They want to push the asinine policies. They want to push science, but not real science, just science convenient to their narrative. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about 97 genders all day long.
You're the people that talk about 97 genders all day long. Don't fucking. First of all, it was like 52 or something, and the number came from like the number of gender options on Facebook. Like that's something that fucking matters. Right wingers just dwell on the dumbest fucking shit all day long.
Because she'll actually work for the people of Wyoming, not for the DC swamp. We got a lot of work to do in all of these places, folks. And that's
Alaska.
Okay. We cannot
Say some shit about Alaska. We don't like them here. We're Florida. We don't like Alaska. Say something about Alaska.
Mainstream media complex as your marketing department, like the Democrats do. $1 trillion in social media, another $1 trillion big tech enterprise, all working for them. We need each and every one of you to be in the game 100%, okay?
Oh my God, you had to bring up coins in the butt? Pennies have been in my ass! I don't know, fucking Sparkles was talking about farting pennies, and like I had to get the gift that matched it. Your pennies have been in my ass! Sorry.
The fact that elections are so close.
Oh. Yeah, that is a Bill Hicks reference.
Multiple trillions.
You're right. I knew I had the gif of the ass pennies. I had it handy. My mind went there.
To suppress your opinion, your views, your ideas, your free speech while boosting the other side is actually amazing. But that's why we can't assume we've won. We can't assume there's logic out there because you understand how much has been spent.
Don't forget to go to mypillow.com. Use promo code RSBN. Get 66% off everything.
We need to be involved. We need to be
That is RSBN. Promo code RSBN at mypillow.com.
Or just gubernatorial races, or the House. We need to be involved down to our school boards. So we can prevent
that is what scares the bejesus out of me, is that these people are going to get elected to school boards. These dumb motherfuckers that know nothing about anything but have a little bit of affluence. People that support Donald Trump tend to be like just wealthy enough to not have to worry about all the shit the rest of us have to worry about. And they're going to win seats on these local school boards, and it's going to be a very scary time. Teachers that are quality are going to quit. And that's the plan. That's the plan from the Republicans on high, is they want to actually break the public school system so that they can privatize the whole goddamn thing. Absolutely, the KKK did it before. That's what we're gonna see. We're like, the left isn't involved enough at the local level, and we need to be. We're getting outdone. Cannot stress the importance of running for state representative and state senate. We've got to take the power back from these motherfuckers. I have friends that are lawyers. Those friends that are lawyers need to start being politicians. But it feels like, as millennials, it feels like we're behind the 8 ball. We're further behind than what we should be. So it's hard to actually, because it takes money. It takes money to run for a office. And here's the sad fact of the matter is you're probably not going to win the first time. You're probably not going to win the second time. It takes running multiple times. You have to get your name out there. You have to get known by the people. And you have to build an infrastructure. And because of our capitalist hellscape that we're in, fucking so much of the election infrastructure relies on consultants and media buys, and it sucks. Sucks. The internet helped level the playing field somewhat, but we've seen the consolidation of social media. It makes it hard to get your message out unless you're playing Facebook. You don't organically rise up through the rankings anymore. You got to pay Facebook to give you that priority to get your ad seen by eyeballs. I'm really concerned with what's happened this fall, next fall. And if they are able to capture enough of the government, I wouldn't put it past the Republican Party to just be able to completely end democracy going into 2024. Fucking Trump gets elected, it's all fucking over. I don't know where we go from there. I mean, they've gone full on fascist. What the fuck do we do? They say we're the fascists. Man, I had to go learn fucking how to do HTML and shit to get the backgrounds on X page and shit. Make it play music on your fucking web page. I remember the MySpace days when I first really started expressing myself in a public forum. Fuck yeah, Flash, thank you. Thank you for running for city council. I say this to my Facebook friends. I'm going to extend it to the universe of people on Discord. You all need to know this. I will help you with any audio visual shit that you need. Send me video of you and your logo. I'll spruce it up. I'll put fucking graphics on it. I will help you out in any way that I can. That's how important I think it is for my friends to run for office and take this bitch over. When I say, well, Justin, why don't you run for office? I've thought about it a lot more now. Earlier in my life, I would have loved to have been able to run for office, but, I got fucking pot charges and shit in my background. I've done all kinds of unsavory things. On video saying every different fucking word under the sun, so. But after Donald Trump, shit. Not really disqualifying anymore, is it? I don't know, but I feel like I'm better as a communications person. I will help anybody who wants to run for office. I will help you with your audiovisual shit. You ain't got a logo, I'll help you make a logo. That's not my strong point. Fuck, it took me like 2 years to even get the Troll Patrol logo to where I fucking like it. Fucking love it now. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to change the name. I'll help you come up with some kind of fucking logo. We'll find something. It's not ain't gonna be the best from me, but if it's fucking free, like, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. Make you a fucking logo that's serviceable. Just not the visual art kind of guy. Not in that way. Better with the moving pictures. Okay, I'll try to help you make a flyer, whatever you need. The punchline of the joke that I can't tell two Icelandic men apart. I can see how it was insensitive, though. Also, like, the way I said it, I'm sure, like, I haven't even listened to it in years. The way I said it was like I went to school with a few Asians and I couldn't tell them apart, but, like, I knew, as I pointed out to the dude that tried to troll me on that, I knew the names of all the Asian students in my program. I went to a big college. You know, I was probably in class with over 150 people of Asian descent. So, like, I didn't know, like, if I knew them from class or if they were looking at me because of my Fu Manchu. I could see how that could come across not so well. Oh fuck. Yeah, you could clip that part and take it out of context and everything. I was like, I don't pretend that I haven't said stupid shit in the past. There is probably stuff that I would apologize for if confronted with it now. And not because I felt like I need to because of pressure from society or everything. Just because, like, as a 37-year-old man now, shit I said when I was like 25 probably is cringe as fuck. But I don't stand behind the statement anymore because I've grown as a person. A lot of people getting some kind of like stunted development shit, and they don't know how to grow. Fuck, like it took me like getting out of my 30s before I even got the chip off my shoulder. I was real mad. I was mad at the world. Young mad white man. The world didn't need another one of those. I mean, I still get mad. I yell about things, but I try to make it matter. Fuck yeah, Flash, you were awesome. And I'm sorry there's been Nazi stickers popping up. Like, there's actual Nazis in my state. I can't tell people apart. I can't tell two white people apart either. I have called so many people by the wrong name. Like, thought they were somebody else because, like, I don't remember what he would go like. I'm in Justin World. I may have met somebody, but meeting them was like the 60th most important thing that was going on in my brain at that moment. It's a horrible thing to say. I'm sorry about it, but like I was thinking about fucking a million other different things. Name went in and out of my ears. Don't remember what you look like because I probably didn't look you in the eye. I've got this like stage way of looking at people where I'm not actually looking them in the eye, but I'm looking in their direction. So it probably looks like I'm like faux looking at you, and I am. I rub people the wrong way. I live in Justin World. Is that a church? As I said, Sparkles like seemed to get really upset with me last night in the car for some reason. And that was not before. That was not before. Last night we seemed to have a fun time in the car, despite the fact that it was rainy and dreary. Yeah. Got a song stuck in my head.
Institutionalized racism to our children.
What's he even fucking talking about?
All right. We need to put our money
all
behind companies that share our values. I'm looking at Glenn over here from Patriot Mobile. Yeah.
Wasn't that a scam?
Most conservative thing in the world, Glenn. But you guys got to understand.
Because he's out scamming.
To AT&T, the parent company of CNN, and you can pay the salary of Don Lemon, or you can support someone like a Patriot Mobile and give back to causes that they believe in as a sponsor here. We can do all those things. That's not cancel culture, folks. That's using your damn brain. The enemy, the other side, and at this point, looking at the things that they are pushing.
Fucking stick it to AT&T. I don't give a shit. Not like I'm on AT&T.
Take your money.
You're telling them to go to some cheaper prepaid alternative. Motherfucker, I did that years ago. Fuck AT&T. Fuck T-Mobile. What the company's probably owned by T-Mobile or some shit down the road, because like fucking 6 companies own every goddamn thing in this country.
Give it to everyone else who hates your guts, hates your values, hates your religion, hates your freedom. So use your head and play the game the way the other side does, because for the last few decades, until the age of Trump, we've been playing T-ball while the other side has been playing hardball. We turn the other cheek and they laugh and take the win.
Hardball.
We need to play like them, and that's what Trump did, folks. He opened the door. People understand, like, wait a minute. We don't just have to fold under the narrative.
Flash, I want like, hey, you guys, you want to start a t-shirt company? Like, I'll share the profits with anybody that wants to go in, like, come up with designs. I'll Photoshop it. I'll put it up on the t-shirts. Not selling them on the Freak Store. We'll do something different. We'll have like a community pot and everything. Maybe we'll donate the money to some kind of charity cause or something. We'll like, I'll do a store called the Patriot Patrol, and we'll sell like right-wing nonsense. You just put "Let's Go Brandon" on a t-shirt, and these motherfuckers will buy it. It is so easy being a right-winger. Let's do it. Let's like, maybe the first little bit of money that we make off of it, we'll reinvest into Facebook to get some ads and get a few thousand likes, and then we'll just take the fuck off after that. Perfect for this culture. I love it. I'm just gonna steal their other fucking ideas. All the right-wing sites have the same fucking shit. like you can't cancel me, or let's go Brandon, or I can't think of anything else off the top of my head right now. But like I'll steal the fucking designs, because all of them stay the same shit. Ain't nobody got a copyright on "Let's Go Brandon." And we'll sell right-wing merchandise, and then like each month we'll give the proceeds to Planned Parenthood or some the Innocence Project or the SPC or something. We'll cycle through each month. We'll do like a different charity or some shit. They hate Fords? Why wouldn't this fucking crowd be all about some Henry fucking Ford? He was like a Nazi sympathizer and help bring the industrial age to the fucking the conveyor belt method and shit. Purposely misspell it. I love it. Yes. Let's go QAnon. See, with great ideas already. Somebody make a Discord fucking server for this. You guys put all your ideas up there. I'll make the store. Got artwork, send it to me. If you need to know what the dimensions are, I'll hook you up. We can actually do some good. Let's grift these motherfuckers. We'll donate it to a good cause. And if you were interested, I think I got some cool shirts on the Freak store. I'm very proud of the Chris Dorner Appreciation Society shirt. It's been a hot seller on the Freak store. And those proceeds go to a good cause, and that's like me. Buys me pot and food. Helps pay for my chocolate milk habit. I'm done with Don Jr. I can't do it. I can't let him finish his piece. Also, I'm kind of hungry. Speaking of feeding Justin. Speaking of feeding, here is an owl puppet feeding baby owls. There's no... Ordered a puppet off of like Amazon or some shit. Orphaned owls. Is it an owl? Am I calling it the right? It is an owl. I don't know what kind of bird that looks like. Baby owls don't look like owls. Look, he's eating fucking raw meat though. Give me that steak. Do owls eat raw meat? Is that a thing? Oh, that's it. Seeing that fucking angle, that's definitely an owl. Oh, this is a different one. Maybe? Owls eat whole egg. That's why he's fucking chowing down on like some fucking steak over here. Please don't hurt yourself on the tongs. Those like surgical scissors. Baby going to town. Oh, do they cook it a little bit? I'm not high enough for this shit on the Freak store. Their beaks may be hard, but man, you don't want to like biting into some metal like that. That can't be comfortable. Damn, are they cute. Cute little birds. I like switching it up, giving you different animals. What are you joking? I don't know what we're joking about now. I don't know what I'm confused on. They grill their prey in the wild. I don't know what they do. They're smart animals. Apparently, you got to protect little dogs from them. They'll just swoop by and they'll fucking. grab him just right off the leash. I could imagine like they might have cooked it a little bit to make it a little easier to eat. Yeah, he's scarfing it the fucking down. Al Hibachi. Yes! I want to go to the Al Hibachi. Oh, fuck. Absolutely. Bernie would have done a better job at Biden than everything. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you're watching on Twitch, you are heading over to Egoplex Media. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I am Justin FREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol live.